Thank you, Dr. Quist, for that wonderful introduction. I would like to begin by acknowledging that the land we gather is the traditional and unceded territory of the Semiahmoo, Katzie, Kwikwetland, Kwantlen, Kaiket, and Tsawwassen First Nations. I would also like for us to take a moment to reflect on what this means to us. I'd like to say a big thank you to Dr. Quist-Adade, who is the founder of the Africa-Canada Education Foundation, for organizing this event in honor of Africa Day. Since today is Africa Day, I thought it would be a good idea to start my speech by defining the word Africans. Africans are descendants of natives of Africa, or individuals who trace their ancestry to indigenous inhabitants of Africa. Without a doubt, African women have made great strides in our society. Some of us remember the movie Black Panther, which brought to the fore relating to the issues and the role of African women in society as custodians of the African culture. We would never be able to talk about the history of African women who were warriors without mentioning women such as Ya Asantewaa, who promoted women's emancipation by promoting gender equality, Viola Desmond, who is on our Canadian $10 bill, a successful Black businesswoman who was jailed, convicted, and fined for defiantly refusing to leave a white filming area of a movie theater in 1946. Because she was put on our banknote, our Canadian $10 bill has been named for the first time in 15 years as the best in the world. She's now considered to be a civil rights hero and the first woman outside of the royal family to be featured in a Canadian currency. I'd mention Ellie Johnson Sirleaf, Liberia's first female president, and the late Dr. Wangari Maathai, Kenya's environmental activist, political activist, and Nobel Peace Prize winner, to mention a few, are women who have had great impact on women, but more importantly, African women, and most notably society, because they are seen as role models. These women bring hope to millions of women around the globe. Don't African women deserve to be in a place of power? I'll talk about Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, who is the Director General of the World Trade Organization. History was made on the 15th of February when the General Council agreed to select Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala of Nigeria as the organization's 7th Director General. She's also the first woman and first African to be chosen as Director General. She's to maintain that office until the 31st of August 2025. Don't African women deserve to be in a place of power? I'd like to talk about the positive change that could occur when women take up leadership positions. Using Rwanda as an example, take for example, the country in Rwanda in 2003 had 30% of women in parliament. In 2008, they had 56% of women in parliament. But something historic happened in 2013 in Rwanda. The game changed when women occupied 64% of seats in parliament, making Rwanda one of the top countries for women in politics. This is a groundbreaking achievement that surpassed the progress established democracies have made. In 2018, the number increased to 68%. Ever since, women have been able to occupy seats in parliament, and they have contributed immensely to peace building since the 1994 genocide in Rwanda. Some of the contributions they have made includes boys and girls go to school in equal numbers, women now open bank accounts, mothers pass citizenship to their children, women and girls inherit, buy and own land, and both genders conduct affairs primarily on an equal legal footing. There have also been 580 primary schools since 2003 to 2015. I'd like us to imagine for a second. So imagine if we had more women in parliament in other African countries. Without a doubt, there will be a lot of progress regarding governance. If we could replicate what happened in Rwanda throughout the continent, just imagine what impact that would have on the continent's social, political, and economic development. I would also like to highlight the impact African women have made throughout the world. So speaking about Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, the first female president in Africa, during her tenure as president, she ensured that women could be recruited into the armed forces. She raised almost $5 billion of her nation's foreign debt and supervised the increase of the national budget from $80 to $516 at some point. She revised the rape law and launched a national program to increase the education for girls. She also promoted gender equality by making a set of amendments to the 1986 election laws. Kenya's very own Dr. Wangari Maathai had a significant impact on Kenya as a country, and by extension, the world. Maathai, being an environmental activist, political activist, had a lot of accomplishments, but she's known for the Green Belt movement. So for those of us who do not know, the Green Belt movement is an environmental organization that empowers communities, particularly women, to conserve the environment and improve livelihoods to respond to the needs of rural Kenyan women who reported that their streams were drying up, their food supply was less secure, and they had to walk further and further to get firewood for fuel and fencing. Currently, over 50 million trees have been planted in Kenya due to the Green Belt movement. The Green Belt movement is geared towards meeting sustainable development goals and sustainable cities and communities. Maathai's Green Belt movement is a great example of how one person can turn around the lives of thousands, if not millions of others, by empowering others to change the situation. So now, let us imagine if women took up more political offices. Let us imagine the effect it would have on Canada and Africa at large. I believe it would have a tremendous impact on the social, political, and economic development of the continent, Africa. Therefore, it beholds us all to act as influencers on the continent's progress. What is my point today? My point is that when African women are given the opportunity to make a change, they make global impact. I also believe that one thing is instrumental to change, which is storytelling, telling stories, telling our stories of African women who have made great strides. I want each of us to know that nobody can tell our stories better than we can because our experiences are unique. Women of influence, women that hold powerful political positions, heads of corporations must or should be encouraged to tell their stories. That way, they are inspiring the young generation to embrace change. Thank you.